This is something I'll probably keep for the rest of my life, I think. It's what Holly gave me on the last day of term. She was very, very upset because I didn't get my job, and that's the kind of girl she was. She was just lovely, really lovely.
That's really very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was just afterwards, when we came off air, that one of the producers said, you know, that was odd. Maxine Carr seemed to be talking about the girls in the past tense. And we all went, yeah, that's right. We played back the interview and we thought it was rather odd. And we thought, well, we'll go and talk to the police when they have a moment, when we next see them, and we'll talk through the interview. But they would have seen them anyway live on air, and I assumed that was already starting
the door
to play
and I just lingered for a few seconds and thought how beautiful she was. And that's the last time I saw her.
This is very concerning. This is a statement that bothers me a great deal. I just lingered for a few seconds and thought how beautiful she was, and that was the last time I saw her. At this point, his child is missing, not dead, according to their narrative. Even though he's referencing a specific night, is Madeleine no longer beautiful? And what I ask the viewers is to consider that when you give a detail of a past tense event, the detail should be in the past tense appropriately. When you speak about character or ongoing characteristics of a missing child, it should be present tense. And I thought, how beautiful she is. And that's the last time I saw her. That would be more acceptable. This is a past tense reference to Madeleine herself, not specifically bound up to a detail, but actually, was she only beautiful that night? That's what I mean by an attribute. So when someone uses an attribute of a missing child in the past tense, it's not a good signal. Right. It's not a good signal at all. Now, excuse me, the last time someone sees a missing child is always going to be important.
Right.
This may sound a bit strange, but I believe him. I believe that the last time he saw her, he did linger, and he did think about how beautiful she was. I think this is where she was disposed of.
Frustrating knowing that we have
and I'll build this
people that way inclined amongst us and us not knowing who they are. People that way inclined.
What we've just seen there is a flash of pleasure.
That way inclined.
Where you can see his eyes are sparkling. There's a huge crease down his cheek, and his muscle from his mouth is pulling his mouth sideways into a smile. So he's being cheeky here. He's saying there's people amongst us and who are that way inclined.
That way inclined.
Anyone who gets pleasure from horrific deeds like we're seeing here, this is a murder, is an indication of psychopathy. So those who get pleasure out of someone else's pain is not something that you would feel proud of.
It was a circus. Camped out around you, but you collaborated with them when it was convenient to you, didn't you? I mean, you would announce photo calls and whether or not you'd be speaking that day, or whether maybe tomorrow or the day after. I mean, do you think to some degree you reaped a whirlwind?
We reaped a whirlwind? No.
Announce photo calls and whether or not you'd be speaking that day, or whether maybe tomorrow or the day after. I mean, do you think to some degree you reaped a whirlwind?
We reaped a whirlwind? No.
Did you kill your daughter?
No. That's an emphatic no. No. That's an emphatic no.